Hello everyone! This is Running on Empty Food Review. Well, hello ladies, gentlemen, and everyone watching. Welcome one and all to this newest edition of the Running on Empty Food Review series. I'm your host, The Report of the Week. Thank you for checking in. Taco Bell. They did it again. They brought back a new... This is not a new item anymore because they brought it back, but you know what I'm getting at. They brought back an item, and I finally have the opportunity to try this one out. It was heavily requested, and initially, and the funny thing is, I missed this one the first time just by a hair. It came so close, and I just wasn't able to try it. A couple months ago, Taco Bell released the giant Cheez-It. They had the giant Cheez-It Crunchwrap, and they also had the giant Cheez-It Tostada. I reviewed the giant Cheez-It Crunchwrap, and it was okay for what it was. You know, it was sort of a little underwhelming in some ways, but I got a lot of requests for the Tostada, and I wanted to get it, I wanted to review it, and sure enough, I missed it by like a day, and I wasn't able to try it out. So lo and behold, and I'd have to assume there's a lot of demand for this, they brought both of these items back. For a limited time now, Taco Bell has brought back the giant Cheez-It Crunchwrap and the giant Cheez-It Tostada. And this time around I'm going to try out the Tostada, because I already tried out the Crunchwrap, and I could finally try out that Tostada. So, what is it exactly? What makes it so different? The big appeal of this, and this I guess goes for the same appeal that the Crunchwrap had, it features a giant Cheez-It cracker that's 16 times bigger than a regular Cheez-It. And the thing about the Tostada is that the entire base is going to be like this giant Cheez-It, which is interesting anyway. Might not taste good, but it's certainly a novelty. And on top of the giant Cheez-It is seasoned beef, tomato, lettuce, shredded cheese, and reduced fat sour cream. So it was in supply. Thankfully, compared to the one Baja Blast gelato that they had, where they made you jump through hoops to it, you had to download the app and go in person and do all this stuff just to get the item. This, on the other hand, you don't have to do any of that. You could just order it for delivery. You could order it at the drive-thru, dine-in, anything you want. And you don't have to worry about being part of any sort of membership program or anything. It's available for mere mortals like us, thankfully. So I was able to get it no problem. And the price for it was $3.65 for the tostada itself. But again, it's a novelty item, and still, it's, yeah, there have been worse prices for things. I also got some Baja Blast, though. Like refreshment there, how could I not? And anyway, excited to try it out. It was one I'd been meaning to try out and hadn't been able to, so looking forward to it. Taco Bell. Okay. So now, gotta be kidding me. That's Taco Bell for you. Wow. I think you could quite clearly see that this isn't a... that's Taco Bell. This is peak Taco Bell for you right here. Oh well. Oh well. This is the fast food experience for you, isn't it? Well, this sure isn't the tostada. I'd assume it's the Crunchwrap, and what I'm going to do real quick, I'm going to get the receipt, because now I got to make sure that maybe I messed up and ordered the wrong thing, so I'll be right back. Let me check that. No, I mean, I have the ticket right here. And you can see it not in focus, but you can see at the bottom there, the Tostada. Big Cheez-It Tostada. So, well, I didn't get obviously what I wanted, so now I gotta make something out of nothing. I guess this is just another failed review at this point. I'm sorry about that. For those of you who came to this looking for a review of the giant Cheez-It Tostada, only to be greeted with this, I apologize. I'm a bit disappointed myself, you know. I was hoping to get the Tostada as well, and that's what I get for not checking the bag anyway. So, now to salvage this and make something out of essentially nothing, because now this isn't a review anymore. I don't even know what this is at this point. It's obviously a Crunchwrap, but is it even the giant Cheez-It one? I have no clue. So, this is going to be the next, this is an edge of your seat moment, and if you want to start taking bets, go for it. Do you think this is a regular Crunchwrap, or do you think this is going to be the giant Cheez-It Crunchwrap? What do you think? I have no idea. But I'm going to find out, because it's just something to do. Whatever this is, it's going in. I mean, I know I could have just opened it up, but that would have ruined the suspense. Okay, this is the giant Cheez-It Crunchwrap that they gave me by accident. The first two bites, I couldn't really tell. I'll show you the cross section. You still might not be able to tell. But this third one, this little paste here, that's the Cheez-It. I'll take another bite or two. I mean, it's not necessarily bad as far as Taco Bell items go. It's not gross or disgusting or anything. I am, like I said, a little disappointed because I didn't get what number one, what I paid for and ordered, and number two, what the whole purpose of this video was. So it's, of course, disappointing. I already had reviewed the giant Cheez-It Crunchwrap, and this is identical to what I had previously gotten, where you could see, maybe you really can't, that the Cheez-It layer is really indistinguishable. You know, upon visual inspection, you might not really be able to even see it at all. But you can taste it. But understand that in the Crunchwrap, it doesn't necessarily have any sort of, it doesn't really have much of a crunch to it. The Cheez-It cracker essentially absorbs a lot of the moisture that would otherwise be present, and it sort of becomes soggy, and it loses its structure. You could still taste it. It really does have that sort of cheddar Cheez-It flavor to it, don't get me wrong. But the sort of novelty aspect as far as visual appearance is concerned is lacking. Which again is why I was really hoping to get the Tostada, because that actually does have the visual element, which the Crunchwrap doesn't, but I guess it just wasn't, I don't know, maybe they were out of it, or maybe they just messed up. I will say, though, that luck of the draw, none of the Taco Bells in my area really have good reviews, and I think there was one, maybe this particular Taco Bell had a review. I remember someone left that I think they said the place should be burned down or something. And I thought, how bad was your Taco Bell experience exactly to feel that strongly about it? It's one thing to get bad food or something, but to feel that strongly about it. I mean, I don't know what happened, but anyway, yeah. It still tastes okay for what it is, don't get me wrong. It's a novelty item. As far as the quality is concerned, as a matter of fact, it's actually not that bad. This is one of the better crunch wraps I've gotten from Taco Bell. So, those sorts of inflammatory, perhaps in the literal sense, reviews that I saw online aside, the quality of this crunch wrap, at least, is actually, again, it's amongst one of the better ones that I've had. Lettuce and tomato are actually fresh, they're crisp. The beef as well has actually there's a good amount of it, and it doesn't feel like it's all watery or anything like I've sometimes had, where it's just this almost soup with little chunks of material floating around in it. Instead, it's actually like beef there, and that's good to see. And of course, you have that, again, strong Cheez-It, cheddar flavor. It is cheesy in that regard, and the sour cream offers a nice touch. Yeah, all in all, as a crunch wrap, it's actually not bad, and I would be willing to say it's better than the first one that I had. So, credit where credit is due. As far as an accident is concerned, I would be willing to suggest perhaps that it's a happy accident, and at least it was something that tastes pretty good. Like I said, Taco Bell I could be a bit apprehensive with, but as far as the quality of this item goes, and as far as crunch wraps go, like I said, this is one of the better ones that I've had, so I can't really complain there. But just trying to salvage this review because I wanted the tostada. I got here to review the tostada, and obviously it wasn't there. So, I guess if you want as a formal re-review of the giant Cheez-It Crunch Wrap, I still paid $3.65 for it. But again, this is actually better than the first one. It's just a little more flavorful, tastes a little bit better, and resultantly out of 10. I mean, barring the fact that this was a mistake, it's actually not bad. It would probably get an 8 out of 10, all things considered. Just better quality, better than usual from Taco Bell, I must say. And well, as far as the Cheez-It Tostada is concerned, maybe I'll give it another shot at some point and finally be able to try it. But I'm sorry this review didn't work out. I always try to do these in order to inform and provide interested folks in hopefully an understanding as to what this item is and if it's any good or not, if it's worth your time and money. And obviously I wasn't able to try what I wanted to try, and for that I apologize. So it's just life, If you're a frequent or even an infrequent fast food consumer, there have been so many times, I'm sure, where you'll go there and you'll put in an order, and then what happens? It just doesn't really work out, and the item that you wanted, you were just given the wrong thing by mistake or something. So I'm sure we're all familiar with it. It's happened to all of us, especially Taco Bell. No surprises there, but yeah, a little disappointing nonetheless. But life goes on, and all's well anyway. Well, for the heck of it, I'll kill a couple more minutes with, I guess, some random talk. I'll use this as an opportunity. I'm going with a new tie today, and I don't know if you were really able to see the full necktie here. So I call this one the Ancient Egyptian tie, and I'll stand up, and you could actually see it right there. I thought it's a cool design. It's a cool tie. I just like the theme and thought, yeah, it would work with this ensemble. But there you go. Let's see what else. I guess I could plug the radio show and the podcast, I suppose. May as well. Have some time to kill, so I'll do it. I should note anyway, if you are interested, in addition to these reviews, I do other things. I do a podcast, I do a radio show. The radio show I do twice a week, every week. Each program is 1 hour in length. You might say radio, for 2024, that's a little old school, but I still like the medium, still believe in it. It goes out on shortwave broadcasts, which travel the world and reaches pretty much everywhere. It also goes out on some AM radio stations. And of course, the programs are also streamed online, so anyone could listen online or on their phones too. It's as easy as that. I cover all my bases there. And the programs, I have a lot of fun with them. I like doing them. Been doing the radio show for almost a decade, as a matter of fact. And in each hour-long program, I'll usually get to the microphone, which I have out of view. I usually sit at this desk here. And I'll talk about whatever's on my mind. Sometimes I'll talk about the news of the day. I'll discuss some current events, talk about some random things, and then I'll usually balance things out with some listener-requested music as well. And I try to just create a laid-back, fun atmosphere, and it's really well received. It's sort of going along with like an old school feel to the radio show. I always do the programs at night for the most part, because, I don't know, to me anyway, there's just something about listening to the radio, late at night, maybe while you're in bed trying to fall asleep or whatever. There's just something about it, I think, that's cool. And I do the 2 airings each week. You could find a broadcast schedule if you want in the description of the video, but the first broadcast I do at 2 a.m. Eastern every Saturday morning. You might say 2 a.m., but it actually is well received. There's a lot of night owls that tune in, and for those of you on the West Coast, it's a little earlier in the evening. That would be 11 p.m. every Friday evening, so it works out there. And then the second broadcast that I do goes out at midnight Eastern every Monday morning. And I always clarify in the broadcast, everyone would think of that as Sunday evening, so that would be 11 p.m. Central Sunday evening and so forth. But anyway, if you have a shortwave radio, you could tune in on 4840 kilohertz at either of those times. And if you'd like to listen online, there are links to listen, again, in the description of the video. And if you tune into the radio show, you like what you hear and you want to hear more of it, or you want to keep it going, you could also support the radio show via Patreon. I have a Patreon page. You can access all the radio shows that I do on demand. And it does have operating costs because I have to purchase the airtime to do the program with, and it adds up considerably. But it's a lot of fun to do, and that support keeps the show on the air. And then, as a thank you, you can listen to all the shows on demand. At this point, thousands of hours of content. And if you're interested in that anyway, you could find patreon.com/TheReportOfTheWeek, and a link to that is actually in the description and in the pinned comment down below. Yeah, you might say, review blog with the shameless plug. Yeah, it is shameless, and I really don't care, because I am going to promote it anyway. And that's about all there is to it. So I'm sorry that this review was, it didn't really work out. The Crunchwrap was still good, though. Sorry it wasn't the Tostada, but it was a good Crunchwrap for what it is, and filled the rest out with some random talk, so there you have it. On to the next. This is just what happens sometimes in the world of fast food, and I thank you all for your patience, and for those of you that suffered through however many minutes of this was, give yourself a well-deserved pat on the back. That's all that I have. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I'm your host, The Report of the Week.